Recording. Good. So the first thing you do every time you enter a game is check for weapons, unless you already have a really nice one. No. No. And also, I feel like this is really quiet. Whoa. And also check for the quilted armor. No. Alright, so I believe I am doing the Far Oasis and the Maggot Lair. So the main thing to look out for here probably will be the beetles. Oh yeah. Did I get mana leech? I must have, or I wouldn't be using bash. Yeah. Now, one thing to be aware of is the sand maggot young give experience and have a chance to drop items.
I need a key.
Their item drop is unaffected by magic find. Completely unaffected. With infinite magic find, they still drop the same low quality items. Okay,
I can't carry anymore.
about to go back to town, so I might as well grab that. Going back to town because the waypoint is right here. And I can check for weapons and quilted armors.
Stay a while and listen.
As always, if we remember, then repair the items before you sell them. Repair my weapon.
It's locked.
And probably the point that I will stop doing full clear for my own sake, right? Full clear is not because you have to do it. I like to play new characters in Classic that way. Will probably be up to somewhere in Act 3. Either Lower Kurast, or I might stop simply in, like, the Great Marsh. Because chasing down all of the flares is not a fun experience. But I'll decide when I get there. The main thing is I'm not going to be deliberately grinding experience anywhere until I get to Isual. That's going to be the first spot where I like do runs of something, is Isual, to reach level 30. Some people that play Classic like to use Sand Maggot Young, because in theory they'll keep laying eggs forever, and you can just farm the Sand Maggot Young for unlimited experience. I have not had a good experience or time trying to do that, because I find that they don't lay eggs nearly as much as I want them to. And often the AI will simply stop laying eggs, and they'll just like wander around in circles doing nothing and never lay eggs again. And so that's why I greatly prefer doing Isual runs for experience. And he gives pretty decent experience. In Hell, I think I took him to level 77. Something like that.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
Was that the way out? No, I'm crazy. Okay. I think I might be talking quieter than normal, so apologies for that. If you can't hear what I'm saying without cranking the volume way up. Let's see. Da da da. Da 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 da. Okay, I guess it's okay. Yep, skulls. Good. And sand maggots will give experience to sand maggot young, but anything that is brought back from the dead will not. So, like Herodrim Ancients bringing skeletons back from the dead, you only get experience the first time you kill the skeleton. So you can't just farm like that. Sure. And the place that it is most recommended if you want to try farming sand maggot young is in the River of Flame. I found that farming for experience, unique and champion Erdar was far superior to devourers. I think is what they're called.
I am overburdened. Good day. Good day.
Welcome to the desert rain.
And the Erdars give good experience. They're the highest level monster besides Diablo. And of course, doing Diablo runs would be very cumbersome if you're trying to get experience from Diablo specifically, because it takes a long time uh, just to get him to spawn. Because you have to, clear all the seals and everything. Now this one at least is a super chest. Sometimes you can get a super chest right at the entrance of the Maggot Lair. So if you want to, you could try to get a couple rare items from that. I don't think it's really worth it at this point. That's a spear, I can identify that. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it to farm the super chests here, especially because they cannot drop jewelry, rings or amulets. And having done a little bit of super chest farming in Classic myself, I don't think it's worth it at all. There's more efficient ways to get items. Because you'll have to re-roll your map pretty regularly anyway. And if you want rares, the Cow King is going to be better. Nope. Looking for attack speed. So I had been posting a new video every day, and I was recording them each day. And I missed a full week, so I might end up doing several today to make it less likely that I miss a full week. Because from my perspective, the longer this takes, I feel like the one or two returning viewers I have that might actually be using this as a guide, or at least to gain understanding of the patch, are like, okay, dude, when are you gonna show me, these Cow King runs you keep talking about? When are you gonna show me the in-game experience you keep talking about? So I kind of want to actually get to some of those portions of the game with this character to show not just how it's done, but how it's done from scratch. Since I think most people that play version 1.0 will probably be people who are already playing later versions and doing it from scratch. Like reinstalling, starting a new character. Wow, I've never played, Classic before. And so, you know, you're watching this video and then you're like, or the previous ones, you're like, wow, cool, he's going to show me how to get all the way through the game. And then a week of nothing. It's like, is he done? Did he give up? No. When you see gray items, in case you don't know, there's no such thing as ethereal until expansion, version 1.07. So if you see a gray item on the ground, that means it has sockets. There are no runes or jewels, so there are no rune words. You can put gems, but there is no such thing as a gem word, so it just does what the gem does. Now, there's no gem words in any version. That's a thing that happens in some third-party mods, like Eastern Sun. I really enjoyed that third-party mod. It has gem words. I would not be surprised if Median XL has gem words. Although that game has, whoa. I think kind of gotten away from the spirit of Diablo 2 a bit. Only a little, you know, it's still kind of like, you know, the same basic idea, but the end game power creep, or not even power creeped, the end game content is much higher. I think it requires much more farming. And of course the skills are all like very far from their original
I am overburdened.
design. Whereas Eastern Sun, there's a lot of stuff that's still recognizable, and I think it plays more like an expansion, probably kind of like Project Diablo. I've never played Project Diablo, but it's probably similar to that, where it's like, yeah, you know, this feels like either an expansion pack or similar to how 1.10 felt when it came out, where it was a complete overhaul of the game.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Trade. No. Gamble. No. And if I don't have Grey Form, or maybe even if I do, by the time I get to Lower Kurust, that's where I will show you an example of gold find early on. Uh-oh. Yikes. Okay, so that guy was doing, you know, like the cold enchanted bug, where a lightning enchanted mob that's also cold enchanted will shoot the cold enchantment every single time it gets hit. He was doing that. And the frost novas were invisible. Aye. So that's something to watch out for, particularly with those death beetles, is cold enchanted. will shoot invisible frost novas. Something that I may not have mentioned yet, but I think I have, is that the unique monsters, like that sand maggot that had teleport, will not, in normal difficulty, drop rare items. They will drop a magic item. Period. They can also drop a gem. And maybe they can drop a throwing weapon. And throwing weapons cannot be magic. But the main point that I'm trying to get is that they will not drop a rare item. They can't. Even with infinite magic find, they will drop a magic item. Blue. Okay. In theory, this would be a great place to get experience, because they'll spawn sand maggot youngs forever. But again, like I said before, I've had poor luck with that. They don't really seem to spawn them forever. They just start walking around in circles. Okay. Wow, I didn't get poisoned.
It is an honor to serve you.
Anyway. Oh, greater healing. In Hell, and maybe in Nightmare, but I'm not too sure about Nightmare because I don't really play there. In Hell, the unique mobs have a 1 in 4 chance, I believe, of dropping a rare item instead of a magic. But your magic find does not affect that.
I need a key.
It's just they either drop it a rare or they drop it a blue, and it is what it is.
I can't carry anymore.
Mm.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Why not? Okay, plain kite shield is not worth picking up apparently. Still looking for a nice weapon. Yeah.
Welcome to the desert rain.
Increased attack speed. Technically it's better because it has attack rating. Okay. Stop.